How's it going? So there was a point in time in my Osu playing where I just couldn't seem to get a 200. It's like no matter what I played, it was always 190, just never 200. And sadly, I went away from my roots and played DT. You don't want to do that. You're here because you want to play Hidden Hard Rock, so I'm going to give you 5 of the easiest Hidden Hard Rock 200s for good AC. I should start this by saying a couple of things. Number 1, you got to have at least 99 AC on these specific plays for them to be worth 200, which shouldn't be a problem because you clicked on a high AC video, right? And number 2 is that these are easy by my standards. Hopefully you find the maps as easy as I do. I'm also going to give them to you in order from easiest to hardest. I like playing consistency hard rock, but I didn't really put this in a video because because you can kind of say that consistency itself is hard, and it's just something that you acquire after you play a long time. So instead I found some maps that are around that 2-minute range and that have little to no diff spike. I've also chosen a variety of maps, so some are bursty, some are jumpy, and then some are a little bit of both. By far, the easiest map on this list has to be Liberate. There's not a single burst in this map, not one. There's also no diff spike or tricky patterns, pretty much everything is cookie cutter and consistent throughout the map. The BPM's pretty low as well, so that shouldn't give you a problem. On top of that, this map is only OD 9.8. No burst, no diff spike, low BPM, this map is free. If you have trouble with this one, this list might not be the one for you, sorry. Alright, the second map that I chose is Question. The spacing on this map is a bit less consistent. It's about, some small jumps, and then the biggest jump is probably half the screen, nothing too crazy. And this is also pretty much a jump consistency map, if you can even call it that because it's TV size. But again, the BPM is pretty manageable, no tricky patterns. And there's only one burst that's around 5 notes, so if you're ready for that, you don't drop AC on it. Again, this is another easy 200. For our third map, we have Shinryaku. This map is like the medium porridge, the one that Goldilocks was eating up. The spacing's pretty consistent throughout the map. There's no diff spike or anything like that. So if you can act triples, then hey, you got yourself another 200, buddy. I'm trying my hardest to not give you maps by like the popular farm mappers because there's already videos out there like that. But this map in particular, you might not know about it. I'm going to label this one as a little bit of a hybrid as well, because again, it has some jumps and some bursts in it. The only difference really between this map and the last one is that there are a few spaced jumps, I guess you could call them. They're not really that big, but compared to the last map, I guess you could say they're rather spaced. Also, there's one mini diff spike that comes at the end where there's a few bigger jumps, but pretty much if you hit that, that's about it. Alright, finally we got to my favorite of the 5. So far I've done 2 jump maps, 2 hybrids that have burst and jumps, and this last pick is going to be pretty much solely burst. So if you have decent speed, the BPM's only 195, then this map is literally free for you. And just like the first pick, this map is only OD 9.8, so it's just that much easier. Now there's not a single jump in this map, it's just a lot of burst and linear aim. But it's not too linear to where you should struggle that much. You can almost cheese it and flow aim it if you really wanted to. Just don't focus that hard on it. I'd say probably the hardest thing about this map, if I had to pick one, would just be not slider breaking or holding on the slider ends. That's pretty much it. But outside of that, this is a very consistent map. Again, there's no diff spike, so it might be pretty easy if you like burst. Alright, that's pretty much it. I hope I gave you guys maps that you don't already know about, because again, this was kind of the whole point of this video. And if just one person tells me that they got a 200 off of one of these maps, then hey, I did my job. Also, I'm currently in the works of making like an Osu biography for me. So yeah, that should be up next. And yeah, take care.